Good afternoon, traders. My name is Tomasz Wiśniewski. I'm a chief analyst in Alpari Research and Analysis, and this is daily analytical report. So, half an hour webinar where I will tell you what's going on the market from the fundamental and technical point of view. We'll also look for good trading setups for today and for the future. As always, we will start with fundamentals. Luckily, we had some news from the fundamental point of view, so it wasn't like that, like yesterday, where the calendar was almost empty and nothing happened. But overnight and yesterday evening, overnight and today, we got some interesting, influential fundamental news and fundamental data that have a very strong impact on the market. So first, let me show you the calendar. We need to be prepared what's gonna happen today before I'm gonna tell you what already happened, because it's less important. It already happened, so we won't be able to use it. That's just good for explaining what's the situation right now, but you need to be prepared for the forthcoming action. So what we are waiting for today is Janet Yellen. She gonna speak in front of the Congress today, and everybody's looking for a confirmation of those words from the Fed members that we got yesterday. Those speeches from Brainard and from Kashkari are perceived as dovish. That was also one of the factors why American dollar got weaker yesterday, because Brainard she said that the neutral level of the federal funds rate is likely to remain close to zero in real terms over the medium term. She also said that if that is the case, we would not have much more additional work to do on moving to a neutral stance. About reducing the balance sheets, she said that it's gonna probably happen soon. And Kashkari said that he's still looking for signs that wage growth is picking up. So kind of dovish comments, and that is why one of the reasons, not the main reason, why American dollar was weaker, because it is said that the main reason why American dollar is weaker are revelations surrounding Donald Trump, actually Donald Trump's son, who said that Russia backed his father's presidential campaign, and they were they were against Hillary Clinton. Obviously, we do not have any evidences. It's always currently media are fighting for more views and more views, and when you type Russia, when you put Russia in the headline, you somehow get more clicks. So those revelations, everything can be connected with Russians. Those revelations are just maybe not silly, maybe not funny, but I would like to see proofs of that. So far we just have speculations about Russian influence on the elections in the United States, but I would love to see any proof of that. So far we do not have any. What happened yesterday was also a data from the oil market. Yesterday, API inventory data, which showed us the biggest drawdown in crude stockpiles since September 2016, so for almost a year. minus 8 millions, expected was built 2.4 millions. This caused oil to go up 2%, and we are waiting for confirmation because today we'll have this EIA crude oil stocks change data in 2 hours 25 minutes, and also drop is expected, minus 2.8 million barrels. Right, so that was the important story for the oil market, and that influenced oil very much. The dollar was influenced by the Fed speak from Brainard and Kashkari, and by email revelations from Donald Trump's son. And also from the fundamental point of view, we do have an interest rate decision from Canada today. As you can see, there is a rise is expected. So we didn't have any significant changes recently in any of the main central banks, but today we are expecting a rise in interest rates in Canada from 0.5 to 0.75, and we'll see if that's gonna happen or not. Well, most probably it will happen. If not, that will be a huge surprise. After that, the press conference will follow. Maybe we'll get some insights about this decision. Okay, so as you can see, interestingly, from fundamental point of view, we got few events. Also, few events are expected. So Janet Yellen. Excuse me for a second. Janet Yellen today, data from the oil market, and interest rate decision from Canada. So you have to stay sharp, especially if you're trading on American dollar to Canadian dollar. Okay, my friends, let's take a look on the charts. Dollar index. This is this drop of the value of the dollar from yesterday. It is sharp, definitely, but it's not. You shouldn't be surprised. I hope you're watching our daily analytical reports or trading snipers video, because if so, you were warned about that. The sentiment was definitely negative. Why is that? Head and shoulder pattern, downswing, trend continuation pattern, which is a wedge. Trend was continued because the lower line of the wedge was broken. Then we got the wedge again, and we are somewhere here yesterday, and I told you that with this kind of pattern, it's a correction pattern, so trend should be continued. And after that, we got a nice breakout of the midterm uptrend line, and now the price is heading significantly lower. What I see here right now is this midterm resistance. It was a resistance at the end of June. After the breakout, it was a support 6th and 7th of July, and then they broke that again, and they are using that again as a resistance. So that's the closest resistance here on dollar index. British pound to American dollar. We highlighted the possibility of a bounce from here, and it happened. It gave us 73 pips. I was hoping for more, but fair enough, they almost got to the upper line of the flag. They went lower, and they met another important support, as you can see here, on 1.28. What is interesting is this bounce here done with a hammer, long tail, showing that the demand is here and the demand is active, and the price followed right after this bullish reaction here on the support. We do have a bullish continuation, and the price is heading higher. That's an interesting one. That's from the technical point of view, that's a good one. So we're above the upper line of the wedge. We defended the lower line of the flag. We defended this horizontal support and 50% Fibonacci level. So it looks optimistic. It looks like the price will continue to go up. Let me just remove the ask line. We don't need ask line. So on cable, sentiment in my opinion is positive. American dollar to Swiss franc. That's why I told you that there is no buy signal yet. We need to break this upper line of the this neckline, this midterm downtrend line. I spotted potentially nice reversal pattern here, double bottom formation with a divergence and MACD and a bounce from an important horizontal support. But as I'm not the biggest fan of the reversal patterns, well, I am a fan of reversal patterns, but done in a trend. So reversal patterns at the end of corrections, right? I'm a big fan of that. I'm not a fan of trend reversal. I like to follow the trend. But here there was a nice technical occasion for a trend reversal, but they failed yesterday. That candle is very ugly. From the buyer's point of view, it's a shooting star. And that's why I said, okay, only divergence is not enough to buy. You would like to see the price breaking this blue line before you would buy. So if you was not patient, if you were not patient, you bought here and most probably you're on loss right now. With a potential bigger loss. Why is that? Because that formation itself is a wedge. Just let me change the color. Okay, even if this line is not broken, it's not important. This way it's here, flag, breakout, flag, or a wedge, which are trend continuation patterns. So if we look more closer, the price should break the lower line of the wedge here. That is why I'm not a fan of reversal patterns, trend reversal patterns, especially double bottoms, and I'm not a fan of indicators. But we will see how the situation will develop, because the buy scenario, the long scenario, is still well, it's always possible, but the probability is still quite high. Australian dollar to American dollar used this weakness of American dollar to come back above the horizontal support. Currently, I don't see anything special here, anything that I could give you my insights on this pair. It's not tradable for me at the moment. But American dollar to Mexican peso, well, you remember we were warning about the possibility of a downswing here when we are bouncing for the second time from this horizontal resistance. That was a good one. Two attempts, they tried to break this resistance in two. Those 2 days ended with long heads. Here, second one even ended with a shooting star candlestick pattern. Then a bearish day, bearish day, bearish day, bearish day, and we're having a bearish day today. It's not easy to draw horizontal support here because it's kind of a wide area, but if we will take into the consideration just the latest tops, we can see that we have high chances that the price will get there. What's next? Well, we will see. The trend is negative. There are bigger chances that the support will be broken. But to state that, definitely we have to wait a little bit. And the next instrument is euro-dollar. Euro-dollar was not also a surprise yesterday because there was an uptrend, trend continuation pattern, a flag, trend was continued, trend continuation pattern, so a pennant, also defense of this horizontal support, and then a breakout of the upper line of the correction pattern, of the upper line of the pennant, and an upswing. So everything happened as expected, with a big help from the fundamental side, obviously. We had this resistance here, set here, proven here, and then we broke this resistance, and according to price action we know that broken resistance becomes a support, and it became a support. But first contact showed a little bit of demand here, but I was questioning that 2 hours ago when I was recording Trading Sniper video, or 1 hour ago. I used this instrument, but I said that we don't know if this bounce here is sustainable. Most probably we're gonna test this horizontal support for the second time, and that's where the real test will be. For now there's no signal here. I would hold and wait for the final decision after the second test of the support. Obviously in the midterm everything is positive, but I'm talking more about short-term situation. In the midterm everything is great. And gold. Well, gold, that's an interesting one. Inverse head and shoulder pattern. Left shoulder, head and a right shoulder. Yesterday those revelations and Fed speak allowed to create an upswing which broke the neckline, which triggered the buy signal here. So the price of the gold was heading higher and broke the horizontal resistance here. But the thing is that they couldn't hold this the price above this level. So they couldn't use the broken resistance as a support, which creates a false breakout. This orange area is a false breakout, and we all know, because you follow us for some time, that false breakouts can be a disaster, can be lethal for buyers. In this case for buyers, because it's a bullish, false bullish breakout. All those trap traders which were buying there will have to get out from the position, and they will increase the bearish momentum. Also, if the price will come back below the neckline, maybe we do have many stop losses here as well, which will accelerate the movement as well. So it does not look good for the buyers. It looks much better for the sellers. This false breakout opens the way for new lows. And that's also a good one, euro to British pound. You know that, well, again, yesterday we were talking about this instrument and we were telling about the possibility of an upswing, and this upswing happened. No surprise about that. Let me explain you why we were expecting an upswing. Because that's what the trend is. The price is making higher highs and higher lows, and also created a trend continuation pattern, but trend continuation pattern in an upswing, which is an ascending triangle. So here price met a horizontal resistance, but was doing higher lows, low, higher low, higher low. Then a breakout was continued for a few hours. Now we do have a correction, So British pound is a little bit stronger. But according to price action, this is the level where this correction should stop. And I think that we have a very big chances that it will work, that this support will work. This support will show the power here, right? Just because of the fact that we do have an upswing, so the long position is long position in uptrends have bigger chances for success, and also using the price action method that the broken resistance becomes a support. Okay. Silver is climbing above the horizontal support. That's kind of a V-shaped retracement. I said kind of because this long tail was mostly caused by a flash crash. So it's not totally legitimate from the technical point of view. I don't want to waste time talking about silver because the situation here is not so clear as, for example, on gold. My local instrument, American dollar to my local currency, Polish zloty. You can see the power of the trend, channel down formation. The support 370 was tested a few times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and finally yesterday they broke that. But as you can see, there's no willingness to sell more. That may be a signal that the supply is just tired of that, and maybe they are looking for a bigger correction here, aiming the upper line of the channel down formation here. American dollar to Japanese yen, especially interesting from the daily chart, because this drop of the value of the dollar did not happen in a random place. As you can see, it happened on the highs from May 2017. Well, from this May. Maybe it's not a shooting star because it has the tail is too long, but it's definitely a pin bar. And after this nice upswing, we do have a pin bar on the resistance, and it causes a reversal here. Quite strong reversal. Obviously, the sentiment is positive, still positive. We do have two important supports here and here. I don't think that Fibonacci line will be respected much, especially 38 point of Fibonacci, but 50 may be respected. Euro to Japanese yen also is having a small correction, but it's normal. That's a strong upswing. Australian dollar to Japanese dollar. I was telling you yesterday that this upswing, well, it looks sustainable, but I said it's going to be very hard to just break this level just like that, so easily. And now we can see that, yes, sellers, that buyers do have a problem with that. So they broke that level in the midterm. They tried to use that as a support, but they failed. And now the price started to making lower highs and lower lows. Yes, some can tell me that it's just a trend continuation pattern. So what we are seeing here is a flag, and a flag should result in an upswing, but at the same time it can be considered as a false breakout. So we have few opposite signals, and what I do when I see a few opposite signals, I just don't trade. I trade only when all signals show me that I should go in one position, on one side, not on both. New Zealand dollar to Japanese yen, after breaking the long-term downtrend line, they bounced off the horizontal line, which is in the same time a neckline of this inverted and shoulder pattern. Left shoulder head and right shoulder. There will be very nice buy signal once the price will get there. So far, no. And British pound to Japanese yen finally had a correction, as you can see, after a few daily candles when they were touching this resistance, but with long heads. There was a reversal. Not actually a surprise, I guess, that they stopped here, right? You can see support, resistance, resistance in May. After the breakout, there is a support at the end of June, and there is a support now. That's a nice bounce with a hammer. After the hammer, the price follows this signal. It is nice, it looks good, it looks potentially, it's just a nice trading occasion, right? And the hero of today, American dollar to Canadian dollar. What we're having here is a flag. Flag is a trend continuation pattern, so the Canadian dollar should get stronger from here. But again, I wouldn't use this for trading. Why is that? Because of the rate decision. But technically, look at that. We had a pennant. We had a smaller flag here. I like this pair recently. Downswing, wedge, downswing, wedge, downswing, flag, downswing, pennant, downswing, flag. All of them are trend continuation patterns. So what should we see now? Well, if we consider that history is relevant here and that we follow the technical analysis, the most probable scenario here on American dollar to Canadian dollar is downswing. And now Australian dollar to Canadian dollar, where we also wrote an analysis, written analysis, where we are here stating that the long-term sentiment is positive, but the short-term scenario is most probably an upswing, a correction. And that's exactly what's happening. We wrote that somewhere here. We are warning about the bullish correction, and it's happening in front of you right here, right now. So after breaking the trend line, the price tries to test this as a closest resistance. I even went further. So in my opinion, they can cross the uptrend line, but they should stop somewhere on the neckline of this head and shoulder formation. As long as the price is below the arrow here, the sentiment is negative, and those high levels can be an interesting occasion to open a short position. Okay, that is my view on the Australian dollar to Canadian dollar. And also let me show you just quickly oil. Oil is heading higher. They used maybe not the, well, it's nice, invest head and shoulder formation, left shoulder, head and right shoulder, but and a neckline here, but obviously it was influenced by the data. But it's nice to see that the fundamentals and technicals come together from time to time. But here with the decision, we have to wait for the data. S&P 500, that was nice. They bounced from here and they bounced from here yesterday. They used the uptrend line, they used this horizontal support. The sentiment is definitely positive. And on DAX, sentiment is neutral because we bounced from the horizontal support, but also we stopped on a horizontal resistance. So as you can see, this resistance is relevant, this green one. We're testing that for the second time. As long as we stay below the resistance, the sentiment is neutral. When we will break the upper line, the sentiment will be positive. When we will break the lower line, the sentiment will be negative. Simple as that, and we are talking about that yesterday, and we are waiting for the price to show us the direction. So as you can see today, many interesting setups. Few of them are active now. Few of them should be active tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So definitely that will be a pleasure for me and hopefully for us to watch those instruments, how the situation will develop. Thank you very much, guys, and after a short break we will have a webinar about fundamental analysis. For more trading occasions, visit our Twitter account and our website alpari.news. Thanks very much.